Hello, friends. Welcome to another Magic Monday, episode 75. I can't believe I've done 75 of these. Anyway, today's deck is called Buxton Checks In, like Dunstan Checks In. Anybody remember that movie? Oof. Anyway, Buxton, decorated host, 5 mana for a 4/4 Rabbit Noble with Convoke. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a tapped creature, seek a non-land permanent card with mana value X or less, where X is the number of tapped creatures you control. Put that card onto the battlefield. Buxton lets us cheat cards out. Onto the hood. 23 creatures, 36 non-creatures, average mana cost 3.5, slightly heavier white than green. No real dominant creature type, maybe elf or human, but even then it's not much. We have 2 instants, 6 sorceries, 12 artifacts, 13 enchantments, including a spider, which also counts up here, and 3 planeswalkers, along with 40 lands. So what we're doing here is we're making a whole bunch of counters, and white, green, I say counter, I mean tokens. White, green is really good at making tokens, so we're exploiting that, attacking a lot, and then letting Buxton cheat other things out. Now, there's a chance that, you've got 10 tapped creatures and you get out Authority, the consoles, right? Like, it doesn't have to be equal. It's mana value X or less. But still, I wanted to build another deck based around cheating cards out, and this is what we came up with. So, a Johnny's Welcome, life gain, Soul Warden's in here for more life gain, because we have cards like Griffin Airy, which will make us Griffin tokens when we gain 3 or more life in a turn, which is really easy to do. Speaking of, we also have Prosperous Innkeeper for life gain and Gala Greeters for more life gain. We've got this Hazda Marshal who lets us make a soldier token. He has to attack with at least 2 other creatures. It's not great, but early in the game, there's a possibility we could trigger this once or twice without losing any of our guys, or we can just use him as a Convoke token. Legion's Landing lets us make a vampire and then a land, which will make us make more vampires. Clarion Spirit makes us some spirits. This Horn will let us make soldier tokens, and then we could really break it by actually equipping it. This will make us a wall and get us a land and gain us 2 life. The wall will help with Convoke, which is great. Prize Fight for some removal. Ranger class makes us a token, makes our creatures bigger. Woodland Champion, whenever 1 or more tokens you control enter the battlefield, put that many 1/1 counters on this guy. She gets real big real fast. Amara, whenever she becomes tapped, create a soldier token with lifelink. A couple of mana rocks here. Adeline will make us 1/1 creature tokens. Basri Ket will make them bigger, and then at his -6 emblem, makes us a 1/1 creature token every turn, and then 1/1 counters on each creature we control. Halo Fountain, we can make tokens there. Skyclave Apparition for some removal and just another Convoke option. Wedding Announcement lets us make creatures, and then they get bigger. Chitter Spitter lets us make some squirrels each turn. Containment Breach lets us destroy something of our opponents, and if it's cheap, we also make a creature token, so it's kind of a double trouble situation. Cultivate for some land. Scoot Swarm, because of course, this makes perfect sense. We want to have a bunch of tapped things. This guy, whenever it's dealt damage, we gain a life and make a Sapperling. This one is mostly just for the land. He's 3 for a 1/1, but then we sacrifice the land and then put 2 onto the battlefield tapped. This also has Convoke, so we could tap creatures to cast this, but it'll let us have some flexibility with either destroying something or making a token. We're making some tokens here. This one makes us a couple of tokens, and then we can double all of our tokens. A few more mana rocks here. A Johnny lets us gain a bunch of life and win the game with his, if you have at least 15 life more than your starting life, exile him and every artifact and creature your opponents control. That's a game ender right there, and not hard to get. Basri's Lieutenant has protection from multicolored, which is a really nice touch. Also has vigilance, also puts a 1/1 counter on stuff, and whenever he or another creature you control dies, if it had a 1/1 counter on it, create a night token. Felidar Retreat lets us put those 1/1 counters. War Leader makes us some cats. This makes us some angels. Wandering Emperor lets us remove stuff or put counters on stuff, whatever we need. Whenever your opponent casts an instant or sorcery spell, create a spider token. So we're just making lots and lots and lots and lots of tokens with the idea that we're going to try to tap them to cheat stuff out. However, there are times where, our opponent has a bunch of stuff that wants to make sure that we don't attack, especially with smaller 1/1 and 1/2s. So we have cards like Divine Visitation. If one or more creature tokens would be created under your control, make that many 4/4 white angel tokens instead. Nice. Elspeth lets us do stuff like make more angels or just put 1/1 counters and lifelink and stuff on it. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 4/4 zombie warrior creature token. Awesome. This guy makes some beast tokens. Awesome. And then we've got this super broken card. Whenever another creature you control enters, put X 1/1 counters on it where X is its power. Basically double everything. Which is really nice when you've got, this guy plotted, you put him into play, and then you cast this, and you make 3 or 4 angel tokens that come in as 8/8 flying vigilant angel tokens. Ridiculous. Tendershoot Dryad lets us make sapperlings, and then they get big. If the Railway Brawler comes out, they come in as 4/4s instead of 3/3s, which is kind of nice. Maja lets us pump our creatures and make creatures whenever we play a land. Other creatures you control get 1/1, and it makes 2 soldier tokens with lifelink when it enters. And then if we're playing against a blue deck, we gain control of all creatures we own. This one makes 3 times as many creature tokens. Primeval Bounty lets us make some creature tokens and gain some life and put some 1/1 counters on stuff. I love that card. This one I don't actually use that often, and I really should. It's expensive. But whenever it attacks, create 2 4/4 white angel tokens that are flying, that have flying and vigilance that are also attacking. So it's expensive to get out, but if we have 8 creatures that are tapped, we could potentially cheat this card out instead of paying its mana cost. I also love Sandworm Convergence. Just prevents creatures with flying from attacking us, and we make a creature token, a 5/5 worm, at the end of each of our turns. Great henge for the stupid crazy card draw, and March of the Multitudes, which also has Convoke, so we could tap our 8 creatures that are out and make another 6 to 8 creatures, and then we also have Buxton's trigger at 8, and we could maybe cheat out Sandworm Convergence. So we got some plains, we got some forests, we got some lands here. That's the deck. It's super fun. It's a white-green creature token deck, so it's not super original, but I wanted to play with this Buxton card that recently came out, and I love the randomness of it. It actually it feels like a dice roll at the end of every turn, and that adds some excitement to it. It's not about just getting out some combo of things that's going to just win you the game. It has a little more variety and a little more spice to it, which I really like. So that's the deck. Before we get to some games, I want to remind you, if you enjoy this video, to please consider liking or subscribing to the channel. And as always, to be kind to yourselves and to be kind to each other. We'll see you in the next video.